to the Love Your Vibe show. It's a revolution of evolution. We are Elvira Hopper and
Eleanor Hayward.
And we are so happy to partner with Skyward TV and Hopeful Radio because we are truly on board with their mission to help the world have better mental wellness through the spiritual path. We are purveyors of a unique personal evolution solution that we truly believe in, and it is for heart-centered humans. And we are excited to bring on our show today one of the purveyors and facilitators of this beautiful personal evolution solution, Akosua Brown. So let us do a round of applause for our beautiful Akosua. Welcome. How are you doing?
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me to the show. And I'm doing well because I'm in your presence. So of course I'd be doing well.
Aww.
So thank you so much. I'm very so much. Good.
Fantastic.
You. And back to you. Well, how's the way my girls do that now, like that as well?
You're so adorable. So, Akosua, we want to learn about you. We want to learn about not just what you do, but why you do it. Okay, so we're just going to ask you a few questions and about, the what's your story, your business as a coach, a book coach, and a publisher. And we're also going to ask you a little bit about becoming a miracle mindset mentor. Not too long ago, you're about to start on your very first beta flight of clients that are working with you, and could not be more happy. Your trainer here is thrilled, and founder here is extremely happy. So we're going to talk about that as well. So before we get started, tell us a little bit about your story and why you do what you do, Akosua.
Lovely. So my business is called What's Your Story? Author Services, because it's about your story. And then I serve people in whatever services they need as an author to get that story out in front of as many people as possible. So I've been working in publishing for all my adult life. And so although, I look so young, you are just listening, you won't be able to get this, but I have been doing this for over 25 years, even though I only look 28. So
you started at 2. Okay.
I started at 2. Yes. I kind of got all of my knowledge through the embryonic fluid and the placenta and stuff like that. But yeah, I've been working on I knew when I was age 7 that I wanted to do something within books. I knew, and when I was too young to understand what a publisher was, I was telling my neighbor who did know what a publisher was that I wanted to be one, and he said something like, "You don't choose to become a publisher, you end up as one," was the way he put it. I remember him saying it. I might have been 9 or 10 years old, and I remember my neighbor saying that to my parents when I expressed that's what I wanted to do. So because my parents wanted, child of immigrants, so they didn't know what a publisher was, and so they made sure that I was actually schooled enough so that I'd become a doctor or something like that instead.
Hello.
And so I do have a master's in sciences and environmental chemistry, in fact.
Love technology here. I totally forgot that part of your story. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but I always kind of steered my way back towards story because my first jobs, even with a master's, were around how to make more complex information simpler for the audience. Like how to gear stories towards whichever audience was listening or needed the information. So whether it was someone who was a specialist and you'd use the type of language that helped them to get into it, or if you were explaining specialist information to the layperson. And one of my first jobs was with a United Nations Environment Program Collaborating Center, where we put out the environmental data report, which was all the information UN collects from all of its different agencies like Food and Agriculture, Environment Program, of course, and World Health Organization. And they wanted a way to get this information to everyone who's paid for it, which means so we produce this kind of environmental data report for everybody. So that's how I started. And so even when I thought I'd moved from that back to science, it always ended up that I was telling the stories of science for others. So it just naturally ended up that first I was working in science in educational field, like for Nelson Education, and after I worked for the University of London and other places in England. And then when I came back, And I was working in publishing. I worked in educational publishing. I worked on history books for kids, science books for kids. And then I worked with a literary agency, and that's when I really got involved with fiction. So I have done it all. And what I love about it is that I get to speak with different people pretty much every day and get them connected to the best way to share their voice, to share their stories. And so, yeah, so whether it's a children's book, which is so fascinating to do because it's often people who are around kids who then figure out, oh, well, wow, I've got, especially new parents, and they're telling their kids new, stories. And so they want to then find ways of sharing them wider, and they get in touch with their creativity because of themselves, because of being new parents. But a lot of business people too, who want to share their magic, their message, their magic, their stories through writing a book. And so I'm very blessed to be living in story every day.
Oh, that's so beautiful. And it reminds me of when I was a little girl. I think I was in grade 1. I actually wrote my first book, and they put it in the library. And I fell in love with books. And my happy place was in the bookmobile that would show up on my street. And I would just lose myself in these books and the smell of the books and Beatrix Potter. And oh my God, so many beautiful memories are coming back. But yeah, I just love what you do. Yeah.
Books are awesome. And you're writing a book with Akosua, right?
Yes, thank
Series
you.
of books,
yes.
right?
Let's just talk about that for a second. Yeah. So what excites you about the project that we're doing, Akosua? With MJ,
well,
I might add. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I've learned so much through doing the Love Your Vibe transformation program. It helped me learn to love myself in a way I'd never loved myself before. It was transformative to me. And as a result of that, like a way of marking that occasion, I felt like a new person. So I changed my name.
Yay!
Yes. That's how strong what I got from the program was, like the tools that allow you to, as a words person, that they have such really cool acronyms and stuff like that really helped me. Your angel of evolution, that they were just so, the words themselves were powerful. So they stuck in my mind, and I am able to recall them and use them in the situations as you need them. And of course, being immersed in the program, immersed in the community, means that you're always reminded and using them as you need them. And I'm so pleased that soon I'll be able to lead others through the program so that they'll get what I got. So the reason I'm so excited about doing this book is that, hey, I'm 50 something. I'm like, and that I'm 58 now. And I guess I first I guess it was 4 years ago that we started, right?
Yeah.
And so imagine if I got this when I was a teenager, how different I would be. And so that's what's so exciting, that we're bringing the program to people so that they don't have to wait till their magical 50s to gain these tools. That we're raising a whole generation of people who understand the power of energy and healing, and how to harness their own inner power to change their world.
Yeah.
So that's what's so exciting about creating this book for teenagers, so that we can make them unbullyable.
Mm-hmm.
And
yes, unbelievable.
Pink shirt day yesterday.
Oh,
right?
Was it? I totally forgot. Oh my God.
That's okay.
Yeah, but
bullying. Yes, or lack thereof.
But but the fact is that our modality is different than most modalities out there. Most modalities work on don't bully, be nice, and do all the right things, which is important for sure. But here's the thing: you're dependent on others to be nice to you versus you showing up in a way that you don't have a kick me sign on your back. So guess what? People don't kick you when you don't have a kick me sign on your back, right? And that's what we want to teach kids, is that, if you have a sign, tear it off your back. If you don't have a sign, know that this is how you keep a sign off your back, right? This is about teaching these ways of being for kids to realize that they don't have to give their power away to a bully. They get to just sidestep and hang out with the kids that, are the ones that align with them, that, aren't, like trying to get them to do things they don't want to do, right? A lot of the bullies, the mean girls, the mean boys, they just want you to do what they want you to do. But kids that are heart-centered like us don't have to get sucked into that, and they can learn to love their vibe and be miracle magnets instead, attract good things, good people. And yeah, can you imagine kids getting these things? Like, I've taught this to 8-year-old girls, and they understand it. They understand that they can choose to be a crap magnet, or they can choose to be a miracle magnet. They have the power, right? So oh,
yes,
so excited.
as you see that it's changing the way schools are treating kids as it is, or teaching kids. In that, I've seen online where when kids in detention are doing meditation rather than writing lines and stuff like that. So it's certainly is part of a shift in consciousness, and so I think we can really help and be leaders of that by producing this book, which will be an aid to those who really want to change the mindsets of kids from now, so they grow up and create the, heaven on earth and change society. Because my gosh, it seems with all these things happening right now, my gosh, sometimes it feels like we're at the end of times, and we do need a big shift in order it's clear we need to shake things up. And this book is certainly our way of doing that.
And we can do it because we only need, what is the percentage of people that we need, Eleanor? Do you remember?
I've heard it's 3% to make critical mass.
Yeah. So just 3% of humanity to do this, right? And we are the people that are on the front lines doing this. We are the light and shadow workers. We are the ones that are helping humanity to evolve. And, I can't think of a better way to live, and we get to do it together. None of us is doing it on our own, that would be really lonely. And just 3%. So thank you. So do you have a question that's coming up for you, Eleanor?
Oh my goodness. Well, we heard from Akosua, like how transformative the Love Your Vibe transformation was for you. But do you care to share with us like a little story, a little snippet of how you were a crap magnet and how it turned around for you as a miracle magnet?
Yes. I know, like, as I mentioned that phrase, angel of evolution, it was one of the strongest ones for me. And when I first met Elvira, I was really attracted to everything she was doing. And I knew I wanted to be part of whatever she was doing. And I didn't really understand it until I actually did the course. So the course, 6 months of how do you describe it? Rain soaked, or
the gentle rain soaked? Yeah. First you do the course online, and then you do the 6-month program. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Which the meetings are every other week, which allows you to actually implement some of the stuff. And so I remember in particular learning about that phrase, angel of evolution. And in the meeting itself, I was coming to understand some of I was starting to grieve a previous bad relationship. And in the meeting, I kept saying, oh my God, he's such an asshole. He's such an asshole. And stuff like that. And I was really realizing in saying that I started to examine it more. And part of the teaching was when you're blaming something, pointing at someone, there's 3 fingers pointing back at you. And so that was part of that, of that particular lesson. And so, and also understanding that that person was an angel of evolution for me, that had that not occurred, I wouldn't have stopped and evaluated my behavior and made the changes that made me the incredible person you see before you, or you hear before you. You're not to be seen in the video. So definitely. So that, there's so many stories, and that is a big one of them. That just having a chance to spend that time in community and reevaluating and examining your own behavior and thoughts, where you have someone, skilled as Eleanor, and who's passed her skills and training over to me so that I'm able to do it for a few people now too. I'm choking as I say that, because who can,
You're
choking up you as well as Eleanor.
Let's have a little mug break here.
Yes. But Definitely. I've lost my train of thought a bit because just imagining, because I just know how much I valued what I learned from Eleanor. I did the program twice with Eleanor so far. So far,
That's awesome.
because
Well, that's the thing, right? You
thing.
go through it as much as you want in order for you to feel comfortable. Because I don't want to push
Yes.
people out of the nest too early before they're ready. They need to say they're ready, right? So when you join, our pool of Miracle Mindset Mentor apprentices, you get to go through it as often as you need to for no extra price, as long as you need to, and you get to apprentice and watch her do her magic with her people, and then you can, well, it's not write the exam, but it's a video to let everyone know that you're ready to go, and you're ready to go. You're on our website and you're about to start soon. I'm so excited for you. Yay. So, so that's fantastic. I'm really curious, Akosua, just because, you're on this amazing show, it's on Amazon and Roku, and you've got a big global platform that sees you and is absolutely in love with you, I'm sure by now. Tell us about the person you love to serve as a book coach and a publisher. Who have you really enjoyed working with?
Oh wow, there's several, and the first two people that came to mind are one woman who is her book is Little Sarah of Tehran, and that book is finished and out there available for purchase.
Oh.
And another one, Robert, who I'm working with right now. Those are the first people who came to mind. I guess why Sarah came to mind is she came thinking, oh, I just want a quick book done to serve my life coaching practice, and thinking that in 6 months, but there was deeper work to be done. Mm-hmm. And so in this we dug deep, and we really examined what her story was compared to what she thought it was when we first started. And through this, the parallels between her work as a life coach and this kind of stuff that her mother did before there was anything called life coaching, and in Iran she was doing this, at a time where she was being ridiculed by people. She was still leading people through a program of self-discovery and self-understanding. And so through this book, it became a testimony to her mother. This book, it really changed its focus, and it's through that deep work, which I think I'll be able to do even better, having gone through the Love Your Vibe transformation program and learning so much more about mindset and miracles and just noticing them and the connections. So so the Love Your Vibe transformation has made me even a better book coach.
That's beautiful.
I truly loved working with Sarah through working through her story and her understanding of herself, and in the end creating a much stronger legacy book than she would have had she just thought, oh, I'm just going to produce this light surface story that will set me up as a leader just because I have a book. Instead, we were together and she got this incredible story. And with Robert now, he what I'm enjoying about working with Robert, he is actually from Brooklyn. He was a 60s hippie, was a drummer in a rock band, had a cool life, ended up becoming a yoga aficionado, enthusiast and expert and a marathon runner. And he created a business which is called Younger Than Last Year, because that's what working with him does. It makes you feel younger than last year. And through his work and his and just he's so fascinating in the many facets of his personality, which includes his love of making models, like model for Halloween. But that's another story. But generally, just through his understanding of how to create a fit body, he realized that when you turn 50, you have different needs than people before. So he kind of created a program on how to create the strongest body, and the most flexible body to improve your mind and meditation and all that. So that when you're in your 50s and older, how you create this new program so that you can create the body that will last, for the 50 more years that you have. Because it's almost like when you're a bit younger, you don't have to, maybe you don't have to be as conscious as you need to be when you're a bit older. You start feeling a few aches and pains. So he's been working on this book for years and years. We come together, and through conversations, through understanding his why, through understanding what he wanted to do for people, we were able to create a program so that he actually can finish it. And this is a book that's really going to help people, and that's helped me. I often feel that the universe brings me the people I need to talk to, so that I can learn as I work as well. So these are two of the people that I've worked with recently that I'm so blessed in that virtually I could tell a story about virtually all of the clients I've been working with, including the ones who bring to me incredible children's books that were like, I'm working with this amazing woman, Anne, who's now started with one book, and now we're on our fourth together. Because she's she's retired, and she just so loves expressing herself through creative nonfiction. She wrote one book about how a community of Canadians served a Syrian family. She's a retired lawyer who continues to help refugees in the area that I now call home, in the Hamilton area. And she's working on so many other books that are both help her become a better writer. It's so cool to see her develop her skills as a writer as she creates these books that both showcase Canadians.
Oh, happened.
I think it's her
Book.
Okay.
When we started with one. Amazing. I just enjoy that each of my clients brings so much to my life.
Oh yeah, yay. And I met a bunch of your authors, and they're amazing people. So I just want to encourage, anyone that's listening, watching this, if there's a book in you to do, if there's, don't die with that book still inside you. As I like to say, don't die with your real music still in you. Like sadly my father did. He never got the opportunity to live his highest self. He never got the opportunity to be self-actualized as a musician, because he was a world-class musician who never had the courage to do it. And sadly, he died with his, real music still in him, with 2 types of cancer, mental health struggles, and a marriage in shambles, which to me is the sign, not the sign, it's the price people pay for living out of alignment when they're not doing what they were brought here to do. Like, let's say there's a book in you, right? Like, don't die with that book in you. Because you know what? Your body keeps score, and your body can get sick. For me, I lived out of alignment, and it wasn't my body. It was my mind that got sick. I had depression, anxiety, panic attacks, bipolar. My marriage nearly ended. So, these are signs from the universe that you've got to get into alignment and be fully self-expressed. Get that book out of you, because the world needs it. If it's in you for a reason. And don't let it burn a hole in your soul, right? Let that book come out of you, because the world needs it. Am I right? Do you resonate?
I sure do, because not only do you need it in terms of working through your story to create so that you understand it, but also so that you can serve others through it. So I definitely believe that writing a story is a benefit for you. And, and often there's, you can hear the same things 50 times, and it's the way someone says it. One person says it, where you finally get the message and you think, oh my gosh, it's that light bulb moment where it clicks. And because of your connection with one way of hearing the story, with one person, perhaps who shares more in common with you than others who've said the same thing, so you can actually hear that message. So that's why everybody's story matters, because so many times I'll work with someone and they will say, if I help just one person, then all this will be worth it. And
chills.
It's so amazing. It's so amazing when they get that feedback that that's in fact what they've done, and then they see that, hey, it's not one person they're helping, that it's so many more, that you get to connect with your voice with so many more people through a book. Because like a book is one way of sharing your content. And from that, it might be that you create a course. I mean, in this case, you guys created a course, and now we're doing a book. But sometimes the book first,
it's the other way.
The course, because there's so many ways to involve someone in your story and help them.
I think we need to have a conversation, Akosua, because I've got a graphic novel series, like peeking around, but it seems like it's so big that I get afraid of it and then I duck my head again. But I feel like there's something meaning to come through, but I just need to kind of organize it in a way that, because I think that's it, is like that sometimes our own message can scare us because like part of my brain, my ego says it's all been done before, but clearly it hasn't, right? But not through me. Exactly. And how
you know, that's funny that you say that. Oh yeah,
you know where to find her.
Shakespeare had Cleopatra say that in the 1500s. There's nothing new beneath the visiting moon. And
Cleopatra said that? Oh my God! In the 1500s?
In the in that play, Antony and Cleopatra, that's one of her lines. And certainly sometimes people say there's only 8 plots, but it's what you make of it. It's your vision. It's your way of sharing a story. So that's common for people to think, oh, what can I add to it? But my gosh, your message matters. Your story matters. Your way of connecting with people, your way of interpreting the world, you know, is important. So yeah, let's have that talk, because I know sometimes it's almost like, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And I help you to figure out the steps of creating that story and getting it out there.
Love that. Love that. And we have another book that we need to do called, 3 shit shows I starred in and the wisdom bombs gleaned for you. Because I really believe that all of my stories didn't happen to me. They happened for me because now I get to help others with the wisdom. Like, in a book, I do it in my coaching. Like when I bring out a story that I feel intuitively a client needs to hear, it's like, it can be totally transformational because they feel less alone, right? That's what our stories do, right? People don't have to feel alone and they go, oh my God, you've gone through it. Well, I can get through it too, right? So you give them hits with your story, message, and magic gives others hits, hope, inspiration, and tools, right? That's what a good book, I'm sure, can do, right? Would you agree with that?
Oh, wow. Another one of your incredible acronyms. So definitely, I mean, you've just got such a great way with words that you got to share. So definitely you've got to share your hits and the way that you help people with the world, because that's the way of bringing them in closer. It kind of goes far out and brings them in closer to you.
Yeah.
So
I love it.
That.
And as I get those stories out, I think I'm going to heal at a deeper level too, because now they're out in the world, they're serving. My pain was not in vain. I went through all of those shit shows because I was meant to help humanity, right? Sorry, that just gets me emotional. And that's what we're all here to do, right? Right, Eleanor?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm curious, for the benefit of our listeners, like maybe like 3 things to help them focus on their story. How would they articulate that?
Okay. Yeah, so 3 things to help you focus on your story is to kind of think about those transformations, because it's almost like you'll have all these things that happen to you, and then you'll notice how they took you from one place to another. That reminds me so much of the angel of evolution that you talk about. And then it'll connect you to your why. You'll learn more about why you want to share your voice, why you want to tell your story. And that's so much connected to what developing an understanding of what your purpose might be. And then as you develop each story, you'll know what part they play in terms of serving your why, because it's often you've got several stories. And so those are the 3 things I think you should be looking at, your transformation, your whys, as well as, some of I've forgotten what the third one was. I don't have a cool way of explaining it, except that it kind of like, I've totally forgotten what I meant to say with that.
Your purpose, I think. That's kind of your why.
Yeah.
You find a purpose. And so 2 will have to do. Because I can't remember exactly how it's expressing that third, but 2 is good.
Yeah, 2's great. Simple. Keep it simple, silly.
Yes.
I think it's keep it simple, sweetheart, but it's
That
so
works
silly
too.
fun too. It works.
Yeah.
Well, Akosua, this has been absolutely delightful being able to chat with you. We need to wrap up now, but I just want to say, how can people contact you if they resonate with your vibe and they know you're the person that's going to lead them through getting their book done and out into the world to make a difference? What's the best way?
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Elvira, for inviting me to share that with people. And the best way you can get in touch with me is through my website, which it's quite a long URL, what'syourstoryauthorservices.com. And you can also get in touch with me through Instagram, which might be a bit easier because it's what'syourstory.books. So
Awesome.
either way, you'll find me. My email address is on both of those locations, both on my website, and you can always connect with me by direct message, by email, through the contact form on my website.
Perfect.
And you could just make an appointment, straight up make an appointment, and we can have our first chat.
Awesome.
So,
And you don't charge for that. You do complimentary chats.
Oh no, yeah, it's
awesome.
entirely free.
Yeah, awesome. And we'll put her information in the show notes as well. Okay, fabulous, fabulous. Oh my God, how great has this been? Yay, a round of applause for Akosua. Thank you so much for joining us, Akosua. You are such a shining star on our team. We love you so much. And we look forward to seeing you again on another episode of the Love Your Vibe show, A Revolution of Evolution. And thank you, Akosua. Keep doing the amazing work that you're doing in the world. We just honor you so much. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much.
Bye, everyone. See you next time. Bye.